Like many other aspiring young race drivers, growing up, Ayrton Senna was my childhood idol. Now, can you believe it? I'm here at Estoril in Portugal, the scene of his very first Formula One win, in a McLaren hypercar bearing his name. I've got to pinch myself.
The McLaren Senna is a two-seat, rear mid-mount carbon fibre hypercar. Its intention is to be the ultimate road-legal track car and McLaren's lightest, fastest and most engaging they've ever built. It's powered by a 4-litre twin-turbocharged V8 engine that makes an astonishing 789 brake horsepower. But its best attributes have to be its huge carbon ceramic brakes, active suspension and active aerodynamics.
Senna and McLaren are synonymous. When you think of one, you think of the other. Who could forget the domination they had in the late 80s, early 90s in Formula One? Now, for a car to bear the Senna name, it has to be something very special. It has to exhibit the same qualities as the great man himself. Now, McLaren engineers think they've got the right mix. Certainly on paper, I'd have to agree. Now, I've got 800 horsepower behind me. I've got 800 kilos of downforce above me, active suspension below me, and I can't wait to let this thing loose on the track.
With the figures the Senna has on paper, I'm expecting it to feel and behave like a GT3 race car, maybe even faster. Behind the wheel, the huge power comes on in a very linear way with an effortless progression, but it's the brakes that really steal the show.
200 k's an hour, just flat through that right-hander, racing very late, just past 100. Stay in third gear, it's really tricky to get the power down, very late apex.
It almost forces you to brake too late, exploit the performance by V'ing off the corners, sacrificing some mid-corner speed to have the car straighter for longer.
Keep the car straight, very fast, 107 on the exit. Again, 200 k's an hour already as we approach a really tricky right-hander. Just seems to go forever.
What is most surprising is how easy it is to drive. You would expect an 800 horsepower monster to be a little intimidating, but in fact it's quite the opposite. The active aerodynamics and active suspension operate seamlessly, go undetectable by the driver, keeping the chassis in its ideal downforce producing state, making for a very confidence-inspiring package.
Wow, that was just insane. To think you can do that with a road registered car, it's just amazing. It's already a big step up from the 720S, which is an insanely fast car. It really is as close as you can get to a race car.
It's only really let down by having to sit on a road legal tyre. Indeed, the road tyre is such a limiting factor that the Senna must bleed off downforce at over 250 k's an hour or the tyres will fail due to the excessive force. The Senna certainly gets your attention and surely is the fastest road car I've ever driven. Under the look of extreme concentration you see inside the helmet, there's a very big smile. This experience has left me just wanting more and more and reminds me that we must be living in the most special time period for performance car development.